What's going on, everybody? Mike Singer of blueandgold.com. We have breaking news on National Signing Day, and it's that Logan Diggs, the running back from the New Orleans, Louisiana area, has officially signed with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And guys, this one was a pretty wild recruitment here down the stretch. So here's kind of the backstory on Logan Diggs. He committed to Notre Dame July 29th, 2020. But look, throughout the fall, he was not, I would never say he was like 100% like super locked in with that commitment. LSU kind of kept him warm. Um, Other schools, my understanding is, continued to contact him. And Logan had told me that he did not want to sign with the school that he had never visited. And he committed to Notre Dame without ever visiting campus. Well, he was finally able to visit campus December 5th weekend when Notre Dame hosted Syracuse. And then 4 days later, he gets an offer from LSU, the in-state U, dream school growing up as a Louisiana young man. So the LSU offer was a big deal to him. So it gave him something to think about. And then the early signing period was December 16th through the 18th. Well, how about this, guys? Logan Diggs actually signed with Notre Dame back in December. Um, from what I was told, Logan just basically wanted to wait until February to announce his final decision with his teammates and everyone else who was signing at his school in February. But then you have Terry Joseph leaving Notre Dame January, was it 8th or 9th for Texas. And Terry Joseph is a Louisiana guy, so he recruited Diggs to Notre Dame. So with Terry Joseph out, Logan Diggs was maybe even considering asking for his release from his letter of intent to go to LSU. So there's kind of this late, potential drama, but in the end, I think it was a little bit overblown, and Diggs was, pretty solid, in the end with Notre Dame. And obviously, he was signed already, and he stayed true and finally revealed his signing with Notre Dame. So, what Notre Dame is getting in this young man, if you haven't watched this tape, you're gonna love it. I feel like on a lot of running back tapes, it's just these like long-winded sprint run out where they are just running by everyone. On Diggs, he likes to show his physicality. I mean, the leaping ability. You'll see here in a couple of plays him out as a lead blocker. The shiftiness, make you miss in a phone booth. I think the one concern about his game, maybe not concern, but a question mark maybe, is the top end speed. But as you saw in that last play, he can still take it to the house. But man, like I mentioned, the blocking there, that he's just a very physical football player, a true all-purpose guy. Not in like he's 5'9", 180 pounds, like a Darren Sproles type all-purpose guy, but he can, at 6 foot, 190 pounds, he's a bruising back. He's physical. Um, he's someone you want on your team, and is a perfect change of pace back with, like a speedy Chris Tyree. So, I mean, you'll see here that the jukes, I mean, come on, just natural ability. So there's a ton to be excited about if you're a Notre Dame fan. So Notre Dame now has 27 signees in the 2021 class, top 10 class currently per Rivals, came in today at number 9. Diggs is the second running back signee for Notre Dame's 2021 class. He joins Audric Estime from New Jersey. So what do you guys think about this signee for Notre Dame? A little surprised by it, and kind of how it all unfolded late in the process. Rivals ranks him as the number 19 running back in the country, number 13 player in the state of Louisiana. Just here in a minute, we will go to Lou Samoji, blueandgold.com senior editor, to get his reaction to this video. Before we do so, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, like this video, subscribe to our channel for more content. Leave your comment with what you think about this signee for Notre Dame. Let's bring in Lou Samoji to discuss the news. Lou, when you have a kid who's, from the state of Louisiana, has that option to stick with LSU, and then, signs with Notre Dame, maybe wavers a little bit, and then sticks with Notre Dame in the end. Surprising at all to you, Lou?
A little bit, because in all these years of doing this, and we're going into the fourth decade with this, I found that the closer you get to signing day, and if it comes down to Notre Dame and in-state U, most of the time in-state U is going to win that battle, because it's like with Notre Dame players, you're going to know whether you want to be there, whether you're the right fit. And when you have to think about it that much, especially when your main competition is the in-state power, it seems like you're almost looking for a reason to stay near there. So a little bit of a surprise, yes.
So Notre Dame, Luke, going into this 2021 season, the running back room looks very good, especially when you compare it to 2020 and the 2020 running backs. I mean, look, we had no idea what was the running back room looked like going into the season, so we didn't have spring practice and no fall camp to report on. So we went into the season pretty blind. Kyron Williams really surprised. And then you had Chris Tyree, the true freshman, and Sibo Flemster, the number 3 guy. Jafar Armstrong obviously didn't work out. He transferred. Jameer Smith has since transferred as well. So you return your top 3 backs, and you bring in Audric Estime, a Rivals 250 flip from Michigan State. You signed him in December, and then you bring in Diggs, who was really, Notre Dame's top running back target after Will Shipley committed to Clemson back in May. So you got to feel really good if you're Notre Dame about your running back room right now.
Yeah, you have the established figure who, his name is being brought up for Heisman Trophy consideration in Kyron Williams. And what you like about Sibo Flemister is that he's developed. Now he's not going to be that number 1 back, but man, he's an ideal guy to have coming in to spell you for a series or two. He's that ideal Power 5 reserve back that everyone likes to have on their roster. But what you also like with the last 3, with Chris Tyree, Audric Estime, and now Logan Diggs, is just the different skill sets. You have the home run hitter with Chris Tyree and that breakaway speed. You have the power back there with Estime, so somebody who can, provide that between the tackles power and maybe move that power. And then you have somebody like Diggs, who's maybe a hybrid of the two. He's not going to have the speed of Tyree nor the power of Estime, but somebody, maybe I'm really dating myself by saying this, but a Lee Becton, so, that guy who can give you a little of all the dimensions there. It doesn't do anything spectacular, but just does everything really well. And you look up and it's like, wow, this guy got like 80 yards on just 11 carries or something like that. So a lot of complementary skills to work with there. And I think that running back room a year ago at this time, we were scratching our heads saying, what's going to transpire here? You don't want to put too much on the freshman Tyree, and how's it all going to shake out? And it's been shaking out well.
Couldn't agree with you more. All right, folks, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to blueandgold.com for more Notre Dame Fighting Irish football recruiting coverage, more stories on Logan Diggs signing with Notre Dame.